All right. Hello, everyone. Faces I've seen before. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Micromobility Europe 2025. This is a bit of a shift. Who has been to this expo before? Quite a few people. Okay, very cool. My first time. If you remember, who went to Micromobility Europe in 2019? Yeah. Wow. Okay, Berlin. And then we did Amsterdam. And now we're in Brussels, which is super great. Um, and I'm of course, very happy to be up here on stage today to talk about a little, very briefly, about the transition we made, which is back in January. We announced that Mayten, led by Prabin Joel Jones, was taking over Micromobility Industries. Mayten bought a majority stake, and in Q4 of last year, Horace and I had started to talk about what the future might look like. And really, there was only one person that we thought would be amazing to take over Micromobility Industries, because it's so much more than just the event that we have today. And literally, I had this. Well, Horace and I both being sort of the Apple fanboys we are, I always remembered the story of Jobs saying that he could only sell Pixar to Disney, right? That was like the only home for Pixar. And when Horace and I talked, we thought the only person that we thought could really run Micromobility Industries the way we'd want it to be run was Prabin. And so with that in mind, I contacted Prabin and said, would you be interested in taking this on and taking it over? And he said yes. And I don't even think he said reluctantly said yes. I think he was excited about it. So that was really great. We were able to close the deal in January, and Prabin has been running it. And you're seeing some of the changes, of course, being here in Brussels, some of the data and the new ways that Prabin is running the newsletter, the Micromobility Pro business. And I'm just really excited for where I think Prabin is going to take it. But I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank all of you, because Micromobility Industries and the events were always something that I think touched a lot of people in ways that sometimes your traditional events don't touch people. And I think that's all because of so many people that came over the years and dedicated their time and would read the newsletter and would, talk about the podcast on places like Twitter and LinkedIn. The community has been really great. And so I just really want to thank you all for being such a big part of that, and hopefully continuing that tradition to make this more than just an event, make it something that's really special, make it something that we always come out for and be part of. And then finally, just to leave you with kind of three things that I think we always stood for, from the founding of Micro back to when Horace came up with the term. The first is always try to be data-led, right? I mean, we used to do our best to win the narrative around data. Most trips are short trips. Most trips are alone. Parking is real estate in hiding, right? Try to take the data behind so much of what this movement is about, make it fun, but win the narrative with the data behind us, because I think we have a lot of data that can actually win the day. The second is to understand with Micro, we are pushing forward. We're pushing on the frontier. I think there's often confusion that because of what we stand for, or small vehicles, we somehow stand for the past. But there's a great saying that nostalgia is a very powerful drug, and longing for the past will leave you there. And I think Micro always was about the future. It was about the builders building the next frontier of technologies, not building the previous frontiers of technology. And I think we can continue to do that. And I think you'll see, of course, a lot of that here today and in the future. And then finally, it's always been about measuring your success in rider smiles. And I hope that can continue. This idea that what's so amazing about Micro is the feeling it gives you and what you walk away from when you're on riding and when you're done with riding. And so no matter what, I think if you can continue to make people smile, you're onto something really big. So those are the last things, of course, I'll leave you with. I'm going to be back on stage later today. I'm very excited about the programming. I think Prabin and his team have put together some of the most exceptional programming we've ever had. So I'm very excited for the next 2 days. And as I mentioned before, again, I think Prabin is the person to take so much of this movement forward. And I'd like you to join me in welcoming Prabin to the stage.